you can charge, a whole lot more than say something like, cleaning a building or, doing a roof, because everyone in town is going to be able to do that. But there's probably a select few that are going to be able to, tackle tough stains like that.
If you're thinking about starting a pressure washing business, but you want to learn more about the equipment, mixing chemicals, how to clean every surface on a residential job site, property protection, and much, much more, check out the How to Wash course. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description.
What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, I'm joined with my buddy Henry. He is a 0 to 7K course graduate, and he actually went a little bit farther than 7K. He's going to be talking to us today about how to make 10K a month pressure washing. I'm joined with Henry now. Henry, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, Justin. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, absolutely, brother. You're killing the game, dude. We need you to, share your success story. So first and foremost, how long have you been pressure washing for? How long have you been in the business?
Yeah, so I've been pressure washing for unofficially just over a year now. I got my business license back in September last year, and, we've been growing ever since then.
Right. So tell me a little bit about how you got into the pressure washing business then.
Yeah, well, I think your YouTube videos is actually what got me started. I was getting into, repairing like broken lawnmowers and stuff, flipping them on Craigslist and whatnot. And my dad had an old pressure washer, so I've been watching your videos for a while. And I saw that, I got it working, and kind of went off from there.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And dude, you've come such a long way from just fixing up a pressure washer in the backyard. So I can't wait for you to get into some of that. But what part of the course really was a game changer for you and kind of helped you to grow your business to this point?
Yeah, so I think the best part of the course for me was the Facebook ads, and just the value of having that kind of in my portfolio of advertising and whatnot. To be able to, supplement my week with that while I'm, getting a bunch of other jobs from all these different sources that I'm using, that's really helpful to us, and especially being able to do it at, an affordable rate. And then, the other big thing for me is, just the value of having all that information in one place. They go through, your business model, which is great, not only for pressure washing, but other kind of blue collar industries. I've even helped out my friends who are doing landscaping with, kind of building that business plan up. And then the big thing too is just the chemical walkthrough that they go through. They tackle, pretty much any kind of stain you're going to run across. They'll go ahead and address that in the course. And that's really helpful for me to, reference if I ever don't know anything, or, just always come back to that, once you do invest in the course.
Having that chemical knowledge is really important to bringing up that average ticket price, because obviously if you're able to quote maybe like a rust stain and somebody else doesn't even know how to do it, that $99 guy can really help you to bump up your ticket as well as give you some authority within the marketplace. So have you been able to utilize that chemical section, and have you done any jobs removing any chemicals?
I certainly have. I think one of my first jobs, actually, when I was getting started, I did a law firm, and they had efflorescence all over their kind of front entrance side. And, I back in the day, I just blasted away at it, and it didn't really touch it. But I was able to come back this year and get that clean for them. And that's something, you can charge, a whole lot more than say something like, cleaning a building or, doing a roof, because everyone in town is going to be able to do that. But there's probably a select few that are going to be able to, tackle tough stains like that. And the biggest thing too, if you're working with, bigger commercial firms, people that are going to be, expecting a lot out of you, knowing how to do, stuff outside of just organic stains is big for those people, keeping their business and making sure, they're sending stuff your way as well. I also just closed a clay stain removal for a customer, all over their foundation. It was relatively new construction, but, I was able to charge a good bit for that. And that's something that, not everyone's going to be able to tackle.
Right. And it gives you a lot of confidence when you go out and quote to be able to say, instead of like, oh yeah, I'll do my best to get that off, say like, hey, that's efflorescence, it is an upcharge. This is what I have to use to get it off. This is the protocol for removing the stain. It just shows that you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. So I think that's awesome, man. What was the biggest job that you were able to actually land using the Facebook ad strategy?
Yeah, so I actually just put in a bid the other day on an apartment complex here in town that's actually on our campus, and I think it was upwards of 7K for that. And it's looking like I'm going to get that. I think they saw our Facebook ad, they passed my name on to their property manager, and it didn't seem like they were getting too many other people out there to bid on it and whatnot. But other than that, I've definitely done a couple $1,000-$2,000 whole house kind of cleanings and whatnot. But it's definitely been helpful, with just the consistent flow of work, even if it is, $200 or $300 jobs here and there. Being able to get that and get that at an affordable rate is really good for me.
Right, and especially since you only paid $200 for the course, man. Like a $7,000 apartment complex is crazy.
Well, and yes, and it is a high price for me. Initially, I was like, wow, do I really want to spend, $200, $300 on, this course? But looking back on that now, that's such a minuscule amount compared to, the amount I've saved in advertising alone. I was probably spending, $300 or $400 on Facebook ads a month and not getting a very big return, where now I'm getting, a whole lot more than that for a whole lot less cost to me.
It's kind of counterintuitive. You would think that running up the money on these Facebook ads would really run up the leads, but you kind of need to dial it in first. And if you did run up the ad money, you might even be able to scale once you've been able to dial it in. So with that being said, what is your current setup? I mean, we know you started with just a pressure washer in the backyard that you were able to kind of piece together. What's it looking like now, and how are you able to do 10K?
Yeah, so I certainly started out with, I think it was a 2.5 gallon a minute pressure washer. Used that for, a good while. But the big thing for me being, young, I have the luxury of being able to invest a lot of this money right back into the business. So right now, I just ordered a booster pump for the truck today. I run a trailer. We're getting a little low on space, but I got an 8 gallon a minute on there, and also have a 5.5 that we run. I have one employee, so that kind of keeps us busy. Both at the same time, but it's nothing fancy, but it certainly is pretty efficient for us, and it gets the job done.
Nah, man, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. Going from a 2.5 that was in the backyard to now you got a 5.5 and an 8, man. That's absolutely incredible. So I commend you on that, Henry. You definitely done some great work. What advice would you give to someone who would like to be in your position and do what you're doing now?
I mean, I certainly think, it just takes hustle. I mean, a lot of it, was banging my head against the wall until something works, at the beginning. But if you're dedicated and, you're willing to put that time in, a lot of times, if something goes wrong on the truck, I'm working until, 11 or 12 at night, and then waking up the next morning and going back to work. So I think, being able to fix that stuff yourself is really good. Also, if you have a good support structure around you, that is certainly helpful. But, making sure your family knows, it's not going to be great the first, 6 months, a year, depending on, how it goes, a couple of years. But, if they're willing to, stick with you and help you out with that, it'll certainly pay off for them in the long run.
Yeah, so I always say it takes about 3 years to kind of build your books up, kind of have those recurring clients, and then to where you're only having to replace maybe about 10% of your business, or, revamp everything and kind of scale. But like you said, it takes time to get it off the ground. It takes time to get this thing going, but you were able to do it rather quickly. And man, I really appreciate you coming on to the channel today. So every guest that comes on the channel has to pick the word of the day. So Henry, what would you like the word of the day to be, man?
Let's make the word of the day hustle.
The word of the day is going to be hustle. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below hustle, and I will hashtag you a real one. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. If you guys haven't already, be sure to check out Henry's channel. I'll leave a link for it in the description. It is Big Bend Pressure Washing. Also, he's going to leave a comment down below, so click through and go check him out. If you guys want to check out the local domination course, it'll be the first link in the comment section description. Like I said before, my name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.